everybody? It's 13th Wolfman. You know, today's day 24 of the 31 Days of Horror. Day 24. Man, we only got a week left before this is all over. I got an idea for November. It won't be all horror, but it's just an idea. But it's not just me doing this. It's Tony Has Nine Fingers. It's the one and only MSJ. It's Double Shot J. It's Carly 317, Random Horror, Retro Horror, Dave Maggot. There's a lot of us doing this, and if you just search for it, you'll find it. There's even I Am the Ice Lord. Yeah, that cat is he's really, really cool. The stuff he does. Now, let's talk about, always liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, If you like that video, then it helps to get out to other people. If you comment, it's because I always want to know what you have to say. Now, we'll get on with the movie. So, it's Italian Sunday, everybody. That's right. One more Sunday of Italian films. Italiano. Yeah, that's right. And we're talking about, I think I've already talked, I did. I've talked about one of his other movies this month. And I'm bringing them up again. I got a lot of stuff by him that I just haven't watched lately. And that is Lucio Fulci's Demonia. Demonia is, it's an interesting film. It all takes place in this little town, Santa Rosalia. Is it Santa Rosalia? Yeah. Santa Rosalia. This Canadian archaeology team go to this little town to do a dig about ancient Greeks. They're digging and digging, trying to find out more about the ancient Greeks. But what they don't know is that in this little town, there are the ruins of a monastery that 500 years ago, the villagers of this town put away 5 demonic nuns. Sealed them, crucified them. And when I say crucified them, they actually nailed them up and strung them up onto crosses. And sealed them away in a room in this monastery. The female in this movie, the female character in this movie, she's there there with the rest of the team, but she's there to, she's there to do the dig for the ancient Greeks, but she gets sidetracked real easy. She hears about this monastery. She goes to the ruins. The townspeople don't like the Canadians there at all. They want nothing to do with them. They want them to just pick up their little shovels and brushes and go home. Please leave everything else alone. Just get out of here. That's really what they're telling people. And of course the Canadians don't listen. Why would they? I know Americans that wouldn't listen to that either. They're like, just a second, I'm here to do a study. But yeah. So she gets sidetracked, and getting sidetracked, she unleashes the spirit of one of the demonic nuns. I don't want to say any more. This movie is so cool. Visually, Fulci was just, man, he liked to get in there. And when it comes to gore, you always hear, when it comes down to it, you always hear that H.G. Lewis was the godfather of gore. And that's true. No one was doing gore before H.G. Lewis put his movies out. Because he put his movies out in the 60s. You watch 2000 Maniacs, you watch Color Me Blood Red, Blood Feast. It was always this real extreme stuff. But then you hear people go, well, Lucio Fulci, the godfather of gore. Yeah, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and he's probably the Italian godfather of gore, but H.G. Lewis brought it up first. Now here's a funny thing. I brought this up before. And in this movie there's a little boy, a little blonde, tow-haired kid, you know, and he's part of the dig. His mother's doing nothing but bathing him half the time. She's like, "Oh my God, how do you get so dirty?" Well, he's on an archaeological dig, Mom. I mean, you know. His name is Robbie. And Robbie's short for Robert. And what's another surname for Robert? Bob. I swear to God, Lucio Fulci has an obsession with Bob or Robert. I mean, what was the last one we watched? There was a Dr. Robert in it. And now, which, you know, and then there's Bob, the little boy in House by the Cemetery, and there's Bob, who's in the New York Ripper. I mean, Fulci's got a thing for, like, this is the ultimate American name, eh? Okay. But, yeah, it just seems really, really funny that there's always a Bob or a Robert or a Robbie. Robbie in this, it's just a kid. I mean, after a while, you're just telling the mother, you're going, dude, he's on a dig. Let him be a kid. Leave him alone. This by Lucio Fulci, directed by Lucio Fulci. This is 1990. I think this was probably his first horror film of the 90s. And it's a good time. This is Severin's version of the movie, and I don't know if there's any other. I don't know if there's any other versions. You know, like if 88 Films or whatever put out a copy of it, or someone else. But if you can find this, pick it up. It's a good time. As always, I am the 13th Wolfman. Don't know what else to say, and I'm on the prowl.